Hello, Martin. Good to see you. It has been a while. How have you been lately?
Well, sorry, I've not been so good. Ravi, I took Ravi to away for a couple of days. The first time we managed to get away because he hasn't wanted to go anywhere. But I took him to a hotel and we had a nice time. But it was very close to where he's having some treatment for his long COVID, which is pretty experimental. Basically, it's intensive oxygen treatment, and he's had 2 days so far. And he's going to stay. He's having it 5 days this week. He's staying there. It's in the middle of Midlands in England, near Coventry, and then he'll spend 4 days next week. And fingers crossed, it'll make a difference. It won't cure him, but it might make him hopefully better.
So now he cannot work properly, I think.
I mean, he was asymptomatic, so we didn't know that he'd had COVID. It took a while to realize that it might be long COVID, because if he hasn't had COVID, you don't think of long COVID. He's been ill since the 1st of March last year. Until November, he needed to rest about 16 hours a day, basically in bed. And when he was up, he didn't have the energy to do much. The main symptom has been this really chronic fatigue. Then in November, he got slightly better. He needed 13 hours a day rather than 16 hours a day. We thought then that he would, slowly improve, but he didn't. It stopped, his improvement stopped. Hopefully he'll feel a bit better from this. The problem is no one knows exactly what long COVID is. It's like a lot of post-viral illnesses, like myalgic encephalomyelitis. People don't know exactly what causes them. There are a variety of symptoms. I mean, the most consistent symptom is this kind of fatigue, chronic, really debilitating fatigue. But there are others like brain fog. I mean, this is a common symptom as well. But Ravi doesn't have brain fog. He just has this chronic fatigue. He has various other bits and bobs, like occasionally he loses his sense of taste and smell, but mainly he's okay. And then for a bit he had tinnitus in his ear, but that's gone. So basically for him, it's just he can't. He's got this debilitating fatigue, so he can't do anything. He's a very, very good violinist, and until November he hadn't played since the beginning of March. When there was this improvement, he started to play for maybe 20 minutes a day. I mean, that's nothing, 20 minutes, but compared with nothing, it was significant. But anyway, he's stuck. I mean, he has done one thing. He has done is that he's become a kind of advocate on long COVID. He started to tweet, which he'd never done before. He's become rather good at it, and he's got quite a following actually on Twitter now. He was invited to appear before the Parliamentary Health Committee, and he appeared on Al Jazeera, and he appeared on this American show, which was quite good actually. And then he had an article in the Observer, which is a national newspaper, on Sunday, last Sunday, which he got a big response to that. So he's managing to find a sort of way of expressing what he feels and what he's experiencing and what he thinks is needed. So that's good, to do that. Living with it's so difficult because I'm always waiting for him to show a sign of improvement. But after a very long time, you don't really expect an improvement. You just hope for one, but you don't really expect one. I mean, for him, it's terrible. And for me, it's been a big dark cloud, over my life to see him like that.
Until when did he recognize that it was COVID? I mean, like for how long that he went to the hospital and then, started to get a treatment?
Well, the thing is, there's no diagnosis. They diagnose, there's no test because they don't know what it is. There's no test. So, I mean, whereas COVID, there is a test for COVID. We all get tested for COVID, but there's no test for long COVID. It's diagnosed from a range of symptoms. It's not diagnosed because we know what causes it and therefore we can test for it. So there's huge ignorance. I mean, this is a disease, or these post-viral diseases, we're very medically very ignorant about them. They set up a lot of long COVID, well, about 20 long COVID clinics in Britain during 2021. And Ravi was seen last October in one in London. But, you know, they can't offer him any treatment because there isn't any treatment. There's no treatment. You just have to wait. He read about this intensive oxygen treatment, which is what they kind of oxygen treatment they give divers actually. And so he said, I'll try it out and see what happens.
And
So,
it's different from a ventilator or something like that.
yeah, it's completely different. Yeah. You know, you wear a mask, I think he wears a mask, and then he, for an hour and a half, he has very concentrated, he breathes in very concentrated oxygen. Because one of the theories about COVID, I mean, there are several theories, but one of the theories is that the bloodstream, there's sort of a certain little small clots in the bloodstream, which has been left by the COVID virus. The idea of the oxygen is to try and deal with the clotting.
Does he have like CT scan?
He hasn't had a CT scan or an MRI scan because the problem is some people have and it doesn't pick up anything. So whatever it is, it's not picked up by these scans.
For now, probably he just needs a bit of patience and also willpower and good luck.
Yeah,
I think.
and courage as well. Yeah.
Exactly. And such a
Yeah.
brave boy. Wish him
Yeah.
all the best. I pray
I
for
will.
him.
Thank you.